What does cooperation look like in a relationship? Are modern women more competitive than cooperative?
More competitive. We're in a non-traditional society. A woman feels that she could best you because she makes more money than you, but she still wants traditional values. A woman feels that she could raise her voice to you because she has law protecting her. Not saying women that should be pummeled or beaten, but women lack the grace of a Felicia Rashad back in the day. And I know DJ, hey, I see you with your little wrench. You had your stuff to say about her, but the classiness of a Dorothy Dandridge, the classiness of uh, um the women of yesteryear, they no longer have that this day. They feel that there are competition. They have wrong signals, dog whistles in the air saying that you don't need no man. You know, I could do it all on my own. I could do it on my lonely. All this bull crap. You understand? So they are in a position where they feel they're competitive to us until life smacks them in the face and they realize they have to dial it back.
I can't agree with that. I feel like it all comes from like the princess treatment and women seeing Disney, movies and stuff like that and thinking love is all fluff and love is about them and they don't have to put in no work. You know what I mean? It's like, spoil me, take care of me, do this for me. It's about me. Oh, I'm beautiful for you. But it's like, what are you giving that man besides your vagina? You know what I'm saying? Like, what other support do you give him? And it's like, anytime you ask him that, it's kind of like, it's something minimal or minuscule or something that any woman could do. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where a lot of our women is messing up at. It's like they only let their value be their beauty or sex. But that's what any and every woman could offer. And then they wonder why they're single and they're not in a relationship and don't no man want them. Like, don't no dude want to order you DoorDash every fucking day. That shit adds up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Expiration date. Yeah.
yeah, it's like there's only a matter of time where something like, man, I'm getting taken advantage of. There's a girl over here that got a job, that got her own place, that got this and I got that going. I go over there, she cook me food. I don't have to spend too much money. I think I'm a rock with her.
Hell, and those Disney princesses, they weren't trifling. They were beautiful. They wasn't going around nagging and complaining and shit. They wasn't
Wasn't
getting. They wasn't
That was in
touched.
the
They wasn't
beginning
getting.
of the relationship, Darwin. You got to remember. You got
it
to
wasn't
you got to give
twerking.
a little time.
They wasn't. They wasn't. Most of the motherfuckers was wiping and cleaning floors. If you took Cinderella, she was cleaning the whole house by herself. But they want the same treatment, but they out here getting their back blown. I'm like, I mean, excuse me, like woman.
Listen, DJ,
Hey,
yo, dog, when DJ on your heels, she got a wrench and she got some coins.
hey,
She's finna be a wife, so she finna be humble.
my question is why are you guys dealing with women that don't want to cater to you and don't want to spoil you like that? If a woman isn't doing that, then I'm not even giving her any time. Like
Well,
that
Well,
it's
that's
wait,
the
because a
see,
bare
man is
minimum.
see, no,
That
I'm
that
glad you
that
said
should be
that,
that should
Biz.
be the bare minimum and expectation out of the woman that you're dealing with.
because
Biz, I'm glad you
a man
said
would
that.
date a woman out of his league and be like, okay, in order for me to get this beautiful woman, I got to stick with this type of woman because another beautiful woman probably won't want me. You know what I
I'm
mean?
glad.
Wait. Say that again, sir.
Okay, so basically, it's like, say I don't, I'm not attracted to men, but let's just say a dude is a 5 and he got money, and a woman is a 9. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna bend over backwards just so he could keep that woman that's a 9, no matter what he's dealing with, because he's not used to dealing with women of that caliber. You know what I mean? So she's gonna get away with more things than not because he's like, man, I finally got the one that I want. She's pretty. She says she likes me. She texts me good morning with a heart, little simple shit. And that could really blow some men away if they're not used to dealing with a certain caliber of women. Like what
No,
Marcus was talking about a couple
But
episodes
but
ago.
that but that
nah,
again,
that's
so sending a good morning text with a heart, that's the highest expectation that men should have. Like that sound
Biz,
crazy as
everybody
hell,
ain't you,
bro.
dog. Some people that
Well,
might bring somebody day.
I'm only saying that because we need to say that out loud. Like that, there's no reason on God's green earth that any man should be dealing with a woman that's not spoiling him.
You
But
know
you got to
what?
also remember back to what we said earlier, right? These women are on social media and they have thousands of men that is trying to access them depending on what they post.
So
So it's
what,
like a
bro?
woman,
So even
yeah, but
even
no, you're
even if
right.
that
You know,
is
I'm
even
with
if
you.
that
I'm
is
with
the
you
case,
1,000%. I'm
even
with you
even if that
1,000%. But
even if
the average beautiful woman and modern woman in today's time probably isn't gonna wake up and send one guy a good morning text because she got like 25 already when she wake up.
bro,
So Viz, here's
that's
a problem that
outrageous.
I'm really having with that, right? And
You
not just
can't see that,
directed at
Marcus.
Viz, but the problem that I'm having with that
You can't see it.
is that, you know, we went around a panel before and we really asked every man what percentage of men, what percentage of women do we think are marriage material? And I think the highest we got was like in the 20s, right? Like 20s, maybe 30, but everybody saying 15%, 20%. The highest we possibly got was like 30%. So when you think about it, men are more pragmatic, you know, we're more logical about what we feel like is really happening, right? So if you figure you're not in the top 20%, then you're like, okay, I'm going to have to take what I can get. So that's why a lot of men will deal with something, because if we've determined collectively here, and I think this is, and if we look at the number of women who are being married, 25%, right? At least in our category, we're saying that most of these women are not marriage material. So if we believe that, then we're like, okay, we found somebody who we think is probably going to bless us with a marriage or probably want to be my wife. And I'm not excusing it. I'm just explaining what's happening here. We're dealing, it's on a curve, because most men agree that most women are trash, and likely vice versa. So when a dude gets somebody who bat their eye at him a different way, or know how to rub their ear a certain way, or know how to, you know, make them feel good like the other women don't, and know how to gas them up a little bit, and might seem a little bit cooperative in the beginning, or might throw them together a nice meal or something, then you're like, damn, I've never experienced this type of treatment before, right? So they'll be silly for that type of shit. When you've never felt it, if you one of them guys, it's different. But we have to put our shoes into one of those dudes who ain't that guy, right? Who haven't experienced that and don't know what a woman's touch is like, or a woman's caress, or the smell, or just don't be around them like that. So when they get somebody who's treated them a certain way that they not used to, they are more susceptible to fall into the trap that we
Yeah,
call
like
marriage sometimes, right? And it's a
like I
shame.
did.
And I try to encourage people different, but I don't want us to just negate the perspective of men that exist out here. If men feel like they're not in the top 20%, then they start to settle for things that they don't want. And women always talk about they are settling, but men on a daily basis are also settling, because there's concessions that we make. We might want our woman to be a little more fit, but we've accepted that she thick. We might want our woman to be, you know, cooperative, but then we've I guess grown fond of her sassiness. And we've trained ourselves improperly to start to tolerate these things and convince ourselves that we actually appreciate them. How many dudes you see out here talking about, yeah, I like my woman big? You a damn lie. You've convinced yourself that because that's what you've had
Nah,
access
Trav.
to and you've
Nah,
accepted it.
Trav.
I'm
Nah,
I ain't gonna
telling
lie,
you,
I
I,
bro.
always
I
like
gotta
the
give you
black
Y'all,
pushback
black
on
y'all
that
women
one,
still on
though.
bro.
this
I ain't gonna
bull.
lie.
I know guys.
God damn.
I
Come on,
know a
man.
few
Look,
guys that love the BBWs,
Do
bro.
you love them? Do you love them?
He's not asking me.
All right, then, hush.
I'm just
Shit,
saying.
ask me.
I'm just saying. It's definitely some dudes out here that love BBWs, and that's their
What
go.
they look like?
It doesn't matter though.
If you turn both of them around and you put a wig on them,
I'm
they
saying,
both look the same.
does it matter though?
Both of them big back.
If we're talking about the average man that's not in the 20%, like Trev just said, if you fat as hell, if the dude fat as hell, for him to expect to get a fit woman, that's unrealistic, bro. Like,
How?
come on. What you mean how? Come on, Darwin. Come on, Darwin.
hey, man, can I
We
listen, gentlemen?
gotta,
I'm so tired.
I think we're the point, and I know it's a conflicting word, but people have been saying that men and women settle down for a very long time. I think we're creating this space as to where we're expecting for people to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. So yeah, this woman might be a little sassy, but you know what? She checked all the other boxes. This she might be heavy, but you know what? She checked all the other boxes. You know what I'm saying? The nigga might be short, but he checked all the other boxes. Shout out to him. So it's we got to be realistic in these spaces because nobody is perfect. We're all settling for somebody. Everybody that's married on this panel, if you want to admit it or not openly, we all settled for somebody, bro. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's recognizing that, okay, this person that is in front of me is what I'm happy with, and I can build with this person. And that's all that matters. So I think setting the bar high is cool. We can go for that. But if you're not in the top 20%, like Trev said, you're not going to have that great pickings. So you're going to have to deal with what it is that you're presented with or what it is that you can attract and make the best out of it.
That's
not a
not
matter
true,
of
guys.
So Viz, that's the point. So what if
Hold on,
it's what if
no.
it's an uncooperative woman?
No, guys, y'all wrong. Look, the guys in the top 10, the top percentage, they usually are exposed to the worst women on the planet because it's usually superficial for those men. Those men don't tend to be surround themselves around good women. But
It's harder for them, for sure.
Hold on, watch this. Let me try to enlighten y'all. And Darwin, I'm gonna beat the dead horse real quick to prove to these gentlemen that they're not raised to be husbands. So look, think about
Leave it
this.
alone.
No, look, it's on the topic of what's being said. I'm just gonna tie them together. Don't get mad at me because I'm capable of doing this. Look, the question is, the question is, what does cooperation look like in a relationship? Are modern women more competitive or cooperative? I say neither. Women do not compete with us because they're not trying to show us up. They're not trying to take us out. They're not trying to do for us what we do for them. So they're not competitive. The competitive notion is wiped out just by that. Cooperative. They're not cooperative because if they were cooperative, for you dudes who were raised to be husbands, you will be able to detect that instantly. Now, how is it that a man who's raised to be a husband meets a cooperative woman and is taking 2, 3, 4, not 2, it's taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 18 years to get married? Y'all will be getting married in six months or less, or y'all will be disassociating with them women within 2 to 3 weeks max. There's no way in hell a man who was raised to be a husband is wasting his time dealing with a competitive or uncooperative woman.